Hello, happy day, happy life, happy journey. I'm really grateful to be here today talking to you. This is Walking the Path. My name is John Jacob Mubarak. I'm one of the directors at Rythmia and an Agape licensed spiritual practitioner, and it is my great joy to be able to share with you and speak with you today. I have to tell you the topic came to me just as I was actually coming in the door, right? I was thinking about something completely different. And the topic of affirmative prayer and why prayer works came up. And so I'm going to launch into that topic because given everything that's occurring right now, prayer is more important than ever. And I know that it looks like things are, there's things loosening up. Restrictions seem to be loosening up in some states in the United States. We're down here in Costa Rica, and the Costa Rican borders haven't opened yet. And even though things might be loosening up, there's still a lot of real stuff that's going on due to the virus. Over 30 million people have applied for unemployment. A lot of people are in the midst of transformation right now. Something is shifting, something is falling away, and it feels uncertain. And so it's at these times when things feel uncertain that we can turn to prayer. Now, the topic of the talk is why affirmative prayer works. Why does affirmative prayer work? And the answer is simple. Affirmative prayer works because we live and move and have our beingness in a creative medium that responds to our thinking. It is a lawful universe that responds to the way that we think and feel. More importantly, it responds to the way we feel. The universe doesn't hear us, it feels us. And the divine presence doesn't necessarily hear us, but feels us because we are in a world of sound and vibration and frequency. Vibration and frequency. Sound and light. Vibration and frequency. So I want to say hi to everybody that's chiming in. Hello, everyone. And I want to start with a joke. And we will get back into why affirmative prayer works, right? So the joke is, there is a very devout Jewish man who prayed at the Wailing Wall, the Western Wall, every day for 40 years. He prayed for peace in the Middle East every day for 40 years. And this CNN reporter went to, had heard about him and his devotion and went to interview him. And the reporter asked him, "Sir, you have been coming to this wall praying for peace every day for 40 years. How do you feel? What has your experience been out of this devotion?" And the guy goes, "How do I feel? How do I feel? I feel like I'm talking to a fucking wall. That's how I feel." So this idea of prayer, right? Does prayer work? How does it work? And who are we praying to anyway? Right? Because there's this older notion of a man in the sky, some being, some person, right? We've personified God. Reverend Michael has the joke. He always says, man was created in the image and likeness of God, and we've been trying to return the favor ever since. Which means that we've been putting onto this divinity all of the qualities of humanity: wrath, anger, fickleness. Like in the Bible, God supports some people, doesn't support others, right? These are not the qualities of the divine. The qualities of the divine are unconditional love, love without condition, power, powerful, creative, loving, right? How do we know that the universal presence is loving? Because we've been given the gift of life without any condition. We can do whatever we want with this life. And it is given to us free from selection, free from condition. So we know that's unconditional love. So we know the presence is loving. These are the qualities of the divine: creative, excellent, loving, powerful, abundant. How do we know that the presence is abundant? Because life takes from itself and creates out of itself without ever depleting itself. Think of the gestation process of any mammal. Think of the way in which life continues. Just the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but can be transferred and conveyed into various forms. Right there, all the energy that there ever was, ever could be, already exists. It is already abundant, and life continues to take out of itself using that energy and create more of itself without ever depleting itself. That's the definition of abundance. Never depleted. And that is a quality of the divine. So the question then becomes, who are we praying to? Are we praying to some presence that's outside of us? That denies another primary principle of affirmative prayer, which is our unification with God, our unification with the divine. So if I'm praying to something outside of me, some man in the sky, that's the fundamental definition of separation, right? What we're talking about is praying from. I'm not praying to anyone. I'm praying from an awareness of my oneness with all of life, my oneness with God, my oneness with abundance, my oneness with wholeness, my oneness with beauty, my oneness with love, my oneness with creativity, my oneness with power and intelligence and wisdom, right? This is a fundamental keystone understanding of metaphysical principle and new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that is a distinction from an older mode of prayer, which is I'm praying to God, which is outside of me. The metaphysician prays from an awareness of my oneness with God so that I can raise my mind above confusion to realize that oneness, because everything in life is trumpeting to me that I'm separate, right? Like, I'm clearly not you, you're over there and I'm over here. So, my senses are telling me that we're separate, we're different. I'm not the tree outside, I'm not the monkey, I'm not the bird, I'm not the camera, I'm not the hat, right? These are all things that are different from me according to my senses. But fundamentally, reality with a capital R is supplied and funded by one source, one energy, one power, one life, one intelligence, out of one, many. And we go back to the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but can be transferred or conveyed into various forms. One energy transferred and conveyed into infinite variety of forms. That is the nature of the divine, the source and supply of all of life. And that is why we fundamentally know that we're one with life, because I can't be separate from the thing that's funding me, the thing that's supplying me my energy and my creativity and my intelligence and my very life force itself. So I can't be separate from it. So who am I praying to? No one. I am praying from an awareness. In fact, I'm praying from that awareness so that I can remember the truth. Because all of life, all of my senses, my five senses in the three-dimensional world, appear to be separate, that I'm separate from it. So prayer then is a means of reminding myself of certain fundamental truths. And as I raise myself above confusion, that can be said in many ways. Keep myself lifted in high consciousness. Look towards the good as I turn my gaze towards the stars. Any metaphor you want to use, I am turning away from reality with a small r that says I'm separate from life, and turning towards the invisible truth, the invisible reality, what's really real with a capital R, to realize my oneness with life. And so this is a key understanding of why affirmative prayer works. Affirmative prayer works because, as I said in the beginning, we live and move and have our beingness within a creative medium The energy of life is the creative medium that I am living in. It's in me and it is all around me. I am part of it. It is everything that I am, and I am part of it, right? We are in God. We are in life. We are in the energy of oneness and wholeness and perfection and beauty. It's all around us, and it's everything that we are. We were created from it. And therefore, because we were created from it, we have all of the qualities and quantities and characteristics and aspects of it, of the thing itself, that invisible, formless substance that supplies all of the formed world. So, why does affirmative prayer work? Because we are raising ourselves into seeing rightly, right? It's like a step-by-step process of turning away from everything that appears to be real and placing my awareness on that which does not have form, but is more real than that which has form, more permanent than that which takes form. Because all of the formed world is ephemeral. It is changing. Even the most apparently permanent things. Take a mountain. Looks permanent, been there for a long time, changing, right? But reality with a capital R is unchanging. It has no need for evolution because it has everything. It has all the energy. It has all the intelligence. It has all of the power. It has all of the love. All of it that ever existed is already in existence. However, this does not mean that the presence is static. It's dynamic. So it doesn't have any need for evolution, but it is not static. It is dynamic, constantly expanding. And so we want to catch that expansion. We want to catch that growing edge. So when we pray, we are lifting ourselves into an awareness, a new way of seeing, right? It's like putting on a pair of colored glasses, right? Everything looks the same as it does before, and if I put on these colored glasses, now it's all the same but with a different hue. It's all the same but with a different awareness. And that is the intention of prayer, is that we convince ourselves in the mind of the person praying. It's not about laying hands on someone. It's not about doing anything. It's about reminding ourselves of the truth. And as we lift ourselves above the falseness that this world is more real than reality with a capital R, as we lift ourselves into the realization that what is invisible is more real than what's visible, then we move into a state of being that is more connected with the energy of life. And that creative medium that we live and move and have our beingness in responds to our increased vibration. So think about it like the chakras, right? Our chakra 1, 2, and 3 are grounded, rooted, three-dimensional chakras. This is where we are creating from the field. We're taking from the field and creating. This is where life, right? Our sex organs, all of that, right? Very much into manifesting in three-dimensional reality. And then we have this bridge point in our heart that bridges the lower frequency vibrations with the upper register, right? And from the heart, we now move into our speaking, manifesting, creative chakra, and into our enlightenment chakra of the pineal gland and the third eye, and then our crown chakra and chakras 8 and 9 above us in the toric field. Now we're moving into, from physical into the energetic realm, right? We're moving into the field of the wave energy rather than the particle in terms of quantum physics, right? So in quantum physics, we have the wave and particle function, right? Where something can act like two different things. It can be a particle, it can move and have all of the aspects of three-dimensional reality, and then it can be a wave and have all the aspects of energy. But energy and matter are really just two sides of the same equal sign, right? E equals mc squared. Energy equals matter or mass, right? So there's a point where energy becomes matter. And we, in our chakra system, that's represented in the heart space, right? Where this transition, the bridge between the upper realm and the lower realm, the lower frequencies and the higher frequencies. It is like the Sermon on the Mount when Jesus says, place your attention on heaven and all else shall be rendered unto you. Don't worry about the physicality. Don't tarry with appearances. Don't get caught up with circumstance, right? Because the unreality of circumstance lies in our interpretation of them. The unreality of circumstance lies in our ability to lift ourselves above confusion to see rightly. So no matter what the appearances are right now, it might look like unemployment, it might look like dramatic budget cuts, it might look like illness, it might look like the world is coming off at the hinges. Don't worry about the appearances, for we, through affirmative prayer, we begin to lift ourselves above the cacophony of this three-dimensional reality and move into a higher awareness. We move into the upper rooms of the mansion. So why does affirmative prayer work? Because it is a process of scientifically training our minds to see rightly, training and moving our energetic signature, vibratory signature, up the register into the upper room so that we are becoming much more influential of the energetic medium in which we are living. Now, this process of a creative medium responding to our feeling and thinking happens automatically. It happens like a mirror. Think about a mirror. When you stand in front of a mirror, you don't have to pray that your image comes back to you. You don't have to persuade it or cajole it or manipulate it to come back to you. You stand in front of the mirror, bam, the image comes back. And guess what? It's exactly the image that you put in, right? It's reflecting back to you. So the nature of the universe is reflective, and it happens automatically. So we're using this law whether we know it or not. Now, if we're hanging out in lower vibrational frequencies of fear, doubt, and worry, we're beginning to work with the creative medium for it to serve us more fear, doubt, and worry. But if we can, through the use of affirmative prayer, raise ourselves above the confusion of the lower vibratory frequencies, we then move into a state of using the law to a definite effect. And again, it's not just about saying words, it's about feeling. It's about feeling the intentionality of the words. The words send out the intention, but the feeling tone of the words is what calls back the manifestation to us. Jesus says, pray as if as if it is already received. Pray as if you have already received. That it's already done. This is the key. This is the key. So, we've talked about some key points to affirmative prayer. Who are we praying to? Nobody. We're praying from an awareness of oneness. The intention, why does prayer work? Because we live and move and have our beingness in a creative medium that responds to our thinking. And prayer itself is designed to lift us above confusion so that we can see rightly and use the lawful nature of the universe to a definite effect. So with that said, let's end with a prayer. What do you think? Perfect. So we begin in gratitude. Grateful, grateful, grateful for the words that came through. Thank you, God, for this divine intelligence that is moving in through and as each one of us. I'm grateful to be alive today, grateful to be alive at all, grateful for this life, grateful for the opportunity to walk another day in the love of God, to realize my potential, the potential that God gave me and gave you. We have another chance at realizing it today, in this moment. So I'm grateful for this wonderful place called Rythmia, where we get to live our dreams and live in a field of awakened miracles. And I recognize one source, one power, one life, one energy, one love. It is the life of God. It is the life of Mother Ayahuasca. It is the life divine, and it is my life, and it is your life. We are one with it, can't be separate from it, because we were created from it. And the Creator imbues itself into the creation. We have every quality and quantity and aspect of the Creator. All the love, all the beauty, all the joy, all the harmony, all the peace, all the abundance, all the power, all the creativity, all the excellence, all the beauty, all the harmony, all the joy, all of it. We have it. We now activate it in a deep realization of our oneness. As we lift ourselves above confusion, we see clearly that everything, no matter what the appearances are, everything is working together for our good. We wait with joyous anticipation to see what that good is. Where is it? Let us see it. Let us know it. Let us feel it. We want to see the good coming towards us. I know that each one of us in the sound of my voice right now, right this moment, has all their needs met. All needs met. All needs met. Everything that they need, they have. Everything that we have, we need. That's the truth of life right now. We anchor in the vibratory frequency that all of our needs are met right now in this moment, and we build one moment onto the next, onto the next, onto the next. Needs met, needs met. Right now I'm okay. Right now I'm okay. The next moment I'm okay. The next moment I'm okay. We build one moment onto the next until it becomes the nature of our reality as we lift ourselves above confusion to see that all is well. No matter what the appearances are, all is well. For we live and move and have our beingness in a divine creative medium that is the source of all of life. And we rely on the truth that if the infinite, immense divinity is for us, who can be against? Whom shall I fear? I fear nothing. Whom shall I fear? No one, no thing. For the divine walks with me. I have all of any problem, any circumstance is facing the divine. It's got my back. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for this truth that the divine presence has each one in the sound of my voice's back. Backing you, and back of it all are the ever-loving arms, and back of it all is all the abundance, all the harmony, all the peace, all the joy, all the health, all the vitality. That each one in the sound of my voice is physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, all their body of affairs is in perfect alignment, order, and balance, and harmony with the unerring order, harmony, and balance of the universe. So I know this is the truth. I know this truth. I know it. I feel it. Feel it with me. Feel that all of your needs are met right now. I'm not talking about in a minute. I'm not talking about in a week. I'm not talking about in a month. Right now, we have everything we need. Right now, I'm okay. Right now. We anchor into feeling that, and more of that comes to us. We draw it to us in the feeling of it. I'm so grateful for this word. I'm so grateful to speak this truth. I'm so grateful that everyone in the sound of my voice is perfect, whole, and complete. I know this. There's nothing wrong, nothing to be added, nothing to be taken away. Perfect in this moment. All is well. All is well. All will be well. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, beauty. Thank you, transcendent masters. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, mother. Thank you, plants. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm so thankful. Thank you. It is in this gratitude that I release this word, knowing that it is already done. It is complete. I rejoice in its completion. I give thanks in its fulfillment. And I say, and so it is. Join me in saying, and so it is. And so we are. And now so be it. Amen.